make me happy too. It's
Whoa! Chase Briscoe just whaled the side of A.J. Allmendinger's car.
oh boy, here we go.
Might get paid back here.
Coming after you, dear. Hang on to it, hang on to it.
Good night.
Wall here, guys.
Wow.
How much of that left?
Hey, Jamie McMurray, that's more of that aggression that I was talking about. I've never seen aggression in practice before. We're talking practice. Well, let me ask car owner Tony Stewart, what's going on here?
I don't know, but when I saw the 16 turn down on the backstretch, I knew it was not going to be a good result when we got to 3.
I wish we had an in-car review because you started shaking your head.
And that was one of the scenes that happened earlier this afternoon at the Coliseum. We're going to go ahead and talk NASCAR now. As you know, those were some highlights from final practice before tomorrow night's clash at the Coliseum here in Los Angeles. Again, tickets still on sale. If you still want to go, you can go ahead and contact Ticketmaster, or you can watch on Fox. It should be around 2 o'clock. We'll have the qualifying races, and then the actual event will begin at 5. So, a lot of changes happened this month in NASCAR. As many of you know, Joey Logano is the current defending NASCAR Cup Series champion. He will go ahead and go for his second straight title and his third career championship. One of the big headlines in NASCAR that happened this month was, or this offseason, was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, who drove for Joe Gibbs Racing for a long time, won 2 championships, has signed with Richard Childress Racing to race the number 8 Chevrolet for RCR. His move to Richard Childress Racing is one of several moves in the series. Addition of a 7-time champion on a part-time basis and a sneaky good move from up-and-coming 2-car team, Richard Childress is hoping to bring RCR back to the promised land. Also, one of the key factors heading into this season is the driver of the number 4 Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing. Kevin Harvick has announced in the offseason that 2023 will be his final season running full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series. Kevin Harvick is the 5th driver to announce his retirement within the past 10 years. As we remember, Jeff Gordon retired in 2015. Tony Stewart retired in 2016. Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired in 2018. Jimmy Johnson retired in 2020. Also, Clint Bowyer retired in 2021. And now Kevin Harvick will be the 6th driver. He's now the 6th driver within the past 10 years to retire from full-time racing in NASCAR Cup Series racing. Also, the Hall of Fame class was announced in the offseason. Driver Matt Kenseth, who won the 2003 championship with Jack Roush, will be headlining the Hall of Fame class of 2023. Kenseth began driving in the Cup Series in the year 2000 and went on to win the championship in 2003. 2013, he had his best season with 7 wins in the Cup Series. Also, many of you may remember the infamous incident in Martinsville, Virginia, with Ross Chastain last-second pass to go into the championship 4. And if you don't believe me, let's see if we can get a noise of that.
Take a look at what he did!
I have never seen anything like that before in my life.
Wide open, around the wall in 3 and 4 at Martinsville. Take a look at what...
So that move went on to be known as the Hail Melon. You know, in football, we have a play called a Hail Mary to just juke it to the end zone and hope something happens. In baseball, we have the infamous triple play where you get 3 consecutive outs in one play. In basketball, we have the Hail Mary shot from half court to get a 3-pointer at the end of the quarter or the half. In NASCAR, we have something called the Hail Mary, which means drive your car up to the wall, do not brake, and see if you can get some passes before the finish line. Now, with that move, Ross Chastain in the 1 car, he did get his spot in that championship 4. But just a few days ago, NASCAR banned that move, and it is no longer permitted to be performed on track. If you do, you will be penalized. According to NASCAR, that move was considered dangerous and recklessly and lack of safety. I mean, look, I know NASCAR has taken its heat for safety since Dale Earnhardt died in 2001, but I don't see driving your car up the wall to try to get advancement is deemed dangerous. I mean, ever since this chase format started in 2004 to get Cup racing to be more competitive, we've had some incidents in where drivers get upset when they get taken out. You know, we all remember the infamous Jeff Gordon Clint Bowyer race incident from 2012, where Gordon just got mad at Bowyer for getting his tire flat, which wasn't the first time. And well, it didn't go well because it took Clint Bowyer out of that championship hope. But you know, if you don't believe me, let's see what we can find.
He's turning Clint Bowyer into the wall, collecting Joey Logano. Caution flag is out. Almirola slides in.
Clint Bowyer was racing for a championship at that time. And after that incident, it led to this.
They said never let him have at it. That's having at it right there. That's a year's worth of frustration. Conflict. The Cruiser in it. Somewhere in the middle of that is Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon went on to be on probation till the end of the year. He did win the last season's race at Homestead that year. Clint Bowyer finished third in the points, his best finish in his career. But that's one of the examples of what the chase or so-called playoffs leads to drivers. And well, throughout the history of the playoffs, we've seen a lot of bad things.
Brad Keselowski 16th and on the cooldown lap. There was that. Then Keselowski and Kenseth, with Keselowski running into Tony Stewart.
That was in 2014 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Apparently there was contact with the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 2 of Brad Keselowski, and the 20th of Matt Kenseth, which involved a lot of arguments and also the infamous brawl backstage.
The checkered flag. Let's see what all brought all of that on. Unhappy drivers for sure. That's Matt Kenseth.
That is what we like to call a case of boys have at it. So I don't think driving your car up a wall with safer barriers and trying to advance your spot in the championship four is highly deemed dangerous. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make it to the next round, especially in every sport. When the playoffs are on the line, you just got to go and hope whatever happens, happens. And you see my examples of, you know, the playoffs getting into the driver's head basically turning into physical altercations. You know, sometimes you wonder, when did NASCAR turn into the World Wrestling Federation? I mean, I guess at that time, right there. You know, we can go back and forth about boys have at it, but you know, that's we can say that for another time. So here's the picture right here. Joey Logano is going to defend his title this season. You're going to have great drivers. Let's see, can Kyle Busch get it going with his good team? Can Chase Elliott continue to perform? William Byron, can that Hendrick team perform? Get back in that championship status? It's been a while since Hendricks won a championship. Kyle Larson was the defending champion. As you know, he lost at the Charlotte Roval with an engine failure or mechanical issues. So these guys are very, very favorites to win the championship. But right now, it seems Joey Logano is favored to win this championship. Now let's talk about the Coliseum. So there will be this will be the opening mark of the NASCAR Cup Series season. This will be the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. Now, basically, this race is not for points. The official season will begin the next Sunday, February 19th, at the Daytona International Speedway, the Daytona 500. That will be the opening race of the NASCAR Cup Series season. This is just pretty much like a race for fun. You know, it's like one of those preseason games or one of those special events to kind of like get the mood going. You know, saying, hey, you know, these are the best drivers there, you know. So they're not going to be racing for points, but this is for high pride for your team. This is kind of to show, you know, what are you going to do here? What's going to happen? Who's going to be favored to win? So a lot of eyes will be on this race. Now, normally it's about 30 to 40 cars, but this race will be less than that because you can see the Coliseum is going to be very small. And, you know, you're going to see the best of the best. And from my understanding, last year there was a qualifying races and then the main event started. So qualifying races will start at 2 p.m. at the Coliseum. So you'll see a race. Drivers will try to get into the show. And then at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, we will have the main event, which is the Clash at the Coliseum. They'll have a poll. They'll have, so it'll be basically on 3 heats: Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3 for qualifying. There's going to be 4 races, 4 heat races, so 4 segments, 25 laps, 9 drivers in each race, and then they set the field lineup for the main event. Now, the top 5 finishers in these 4 stages, the top 5 finishes will advance to the main event. The bottom 4 will drop to the what's known as the last chance qualifying races. So basically, they'll have 1 race, and then I'm assuming the winner of that race will go on to the main event. Then, for the main event, there will be 2 50-lap races. And the clash of the main event will be, actually, I'm going to rephrase that again. I kind of got confused on that on my notes. I'm sorry about that. The main event, which is the Clash at the Coliseum, it will be a 150-lap event with a break at lap 75. So once it gets to 75, which is the halfway, there'll be an intermission, and then they'll run the remaining 75 laps or whatever's left over. So again, this is going to be an awesome thing. You know, this will be the second year that the Los Angeles Coliseum is going to be holding this. I'm personally excited. I will be attending that race tomorrow afternoon. I will get highlights. I'll show you what the format looks like. I tell you, it's pretty interesting here. But again, Logano won this last year. But I'll tell you right now, you're going to have drivers like Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott and others trying to compete for this. Again, this is not for points. This is just for pride. Let me show you who the favorites are at this point. Right now, Joey Logano and Chase Elliott are the two favorites to win. They tied up. Then you got Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, who's going to start his final season. He may be a heavy favorite. Martin Truex Jr., who hasn't won over a year. Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowen, and Daniel Suarez. So these are the odds. So basically it's going to be between Logano and Elliott. But out of other those names, you know, it could be anyone else. And these drivers are also high favorite to win a championship. But I can project right now that Logano will compete for that second championship in a row. But he may not repeat it. It's too early to tell. This is a 36 race schedule with 10 races in the playoffs. So the first 4 races are the first few races are like 3 rounders, and then the next rounder, and then the championship 4. So it's going to be a lot to see tomorrow. But I am very, very excited. And after watching the final practice today, having those what we showed earlier, I think it's going to be a very, very awesome thing. And again, if you're into motorsports, you got to check this out. You know, I got my headset. Well, not this headset, but I got a different set of headsets to wear because it's going to be 40,000 MPGs and all that other stuff. So, you know, there's going to be live musical performance as well. So, I mean, hey, if you're not going to be able to go, then I said watch it on Fox. This is the one ticket I will not miss. And I encourage everyone, or say you want to watch something, I will watch this. It was a good crowd last year, that's for sure. And then we'll see what the crowd is this year. I mean, it's not even expensive either, you know. So that's a good thing. I've been to the Long Beach Grand Prix, which we'll talk about later on. But this is going to be the start of something new in this NASCAR season. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. I do want to give a couple updates real quick. First, we want to welcome the viewers who are watching the Lakers game. The Lakers lost tonight, 131 to 126. All eyes are still on LeBron James. He's still trying to break the record. But while we have a little bit of time, let's go over some NBA news right now that involves the Lakers. So the Lakers are in 12th place trying to get into the playoffs. Right now there's a rumor going around that Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets is interested to come to Los Angeles to play with LeBron James. The proposed trade deal would include Russell Westbrook and maybe other players to be traded for him to come over to Los Angeles. As many of you know, Kyrie Irving has been in the middle of controversy this season. He missed a couple games. Well, first, he missed time because of the COVID-19 vaccine mandate, which if he didn't have the vaccine, he can't play in New York because of the mandates at the time. Sometime last year, he was involved in some controversial statements about anti-Semitism and all the other things. The Nets gave him a Proposition 6 things he had to do in order to reinstate his position with the NBA. He had to apologize and do some other things as well. So at this time, it's not certain what's going to happen with him, but the trade deadline is looming. So is the mid-season is looming. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open on this development. So we're going to go ahead and break for timeout, and then we'll be back for one more thing. There is something I do need to address, and we'll be back right after this.